well too, just in case. I didn't hear the little announcement. Perfect. All right, so we'll get started. Again, really quickly, I will just go over the Sprint program for anybody joining us, who hasn't gone through Sprint yet and what it is and, what everybody here presenting has done over the past 4 weeks. It is a 4-week product management training with an in-depth overview of discovery and strategy. So you'll get to learn product management fundamentals, you'll brainstorm, ideate, conduct user research. It's really focused on the doing as opposed to just theoretical learning. So putting yourself in that driver's seat to act as a product manager. You'll get to document your problem space in a spec or PRD, and you'll be able to network and get feedback from industry professionals as well. Oops. Sorry about that. Really quickly, it is considered a prerequisite for the bootcamp program. So if you're interested in doing the 8-week bootcamp and moving forward with a team, if you have no product management learnings under your belt, the Sprint is a great way to get started as well. And so how it works, like I said, it is 4 weeks long. It is part-time, so you can do it alongside of other commitments, whether that be a full-time job or other life commitments. It is cohort-based, peer-led, and community-assisted. So as you'll see, there's several other people going through a cohort with you, also learning about product management. There are 1-hour sessions each week with a small group. And the commitment is roughly 2 to 4 hours of individual work per week. And the format is 100% online and fully remote. Really quickly, for anyone who is in our SPRINT19 program, the bootcamp invitations have been sent out. So do check your email to make sure that you're seeing that. It could be in your spam or junk folder. The deadline to enroll, if you're interested in Co.Lab 19, which starts on May 1st, is Friday, April 22nd. And if you're not interested in moving forward, just give us a quick email back just so that we know and we don't have to keep bothering you as well with emails. I'm really excited to move forward with all of you and see what you build. It's so exciting to see people go through the Sprint program and continue to build out their product with a real team as well. And lastly, before we get started on presentations, something we always like to remind everyone is that you belong in tech. I know it can be a tough time out there right now, and imposter syndrome is real, but something that we truly believe at Co.Lab is that there is a space for everybody. So don't forget, you belong in tech. All right, and I will stop sharing my screen and I will pull up my list so I know who the first presenter is. All right, I'm going to call on Brittany. You are our first presenter, so you can start sharing your screen and I will spotlight you.
Okay.
And I will spotlight our timer as well.
Can you see my screen?
Yep, we can.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. My name is Brittany Bruni, a product manager from Co.Lab SPRINT19 program. In the last 4 weeks, I have been concentrating on a specific problem space, conducting user and product research, and synthesizing the data collected from my surveys and my interviews. Further, I've initiated the early stages of the product development lifecycle to create a product that will serve as a solution to the identified problem. Introducing to you Safe Eats, empowering stress-free, safe dining experiences, and a mobile app. Are you tired of the stress and anxiety that comes with eating out with food allergies or restrictions? Safe Eats is a mobile app that simplifies the research process and provides a reliable source of information on restaurants that cater to your needs while assisting you to avoid health risks and dangerous allergic reactions. With Safe Eats, you can enjoy dining out without compromising your health. Today, I will share with you my problem, my approach, the solution, the product, and my experience and learnings. While conducting my problem space research, the supporting evidence showed that recent studies show over 12 million Americans have food allergies or restrictions, which can make dining out in public a challenging experience. Restaurants are the second most common place for food reactions to occur, and individuals with food allergies or restrictions face significant challenges in finding safe and suitable dining options. With the increase in applications and information available on the go, I began to brainstorm and conducted a competitive analysis of solutions that already exist within the market. The products that are available focus on one aspect of the problem space and not on allergies as a whole, leaving users out there with limited options other than time-restricting internet research on their own. User surveys and interviews were conducted. While synthesizing the data down further, it was clear that there was a clear and true problem that can be narrowed down and focused further on. The current process of researching restaurants and menus can be time-consuming and stressful, and even with extensive research, there is still a risk. These challenges can significantly impact the dining experiences of individuals with food allergies or restrictions. The lack of reliable information on restaurant menus and cross-contamination risk makes it difficult for individuals to make informed and confident decisions when eating out in public. I focused on some key problem statements that I derived from my research further as I asked some further why clarification questions for the data that I synthesized and analyzed, as you can see within my problem statements here. My solution. Meet Sam. Prior to fighting Safe Eats, Sam, who has severe food allergies, faced difficulties in locating restaurants that could cater to his dietary restrictions. This resulted in feelings of isolation and stress during social gatherings, and often he felt ill after eating out. One day, Sam hears about Safe Eats from a friend who also has food allergies. He decides to give it a try and downloads the app on his phone. Safe Eats app changed this experience for Sam by generating a list of nearby restaurants that cater to his needs and displayed menus and ingredients for each. After using Safe Eats, Sam no longer had to worry about compromising his health while dining out. He could finally enjoy meals with his friends and colleagues with confidence and without feeling left out. Safe Eats had given Sam the freedom and peace of mind that he deserved. My product. Introducing to you my proposed solution, Safe Eats, a mobile application that provides users with a reliable source of information on restaurants that cater to their specific dietary needs and preferences. It simplifies the research process and ensures that users can dine out without compromising their health. My learnings and experience. My learnings. I solidify my learning of knowing your problem space as well as constantly iterating to solve that space. Stay within my problem space and not your solution space. And product specs are a living document and a constant iteration of clear communication with everybody. In my next steps, I will be creating my MVP with developers and designers. I will continue to reiterate, given the continuous feedback from my users, and most importantly, take my learnings and enter into the product management space into a new role. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was really, really great. Really concise as well, too. You did wonderful.
Thank you.
All right. And now we'll open it up to any questions, and I will spotlight our mentor as I ask as well. Perfect.
Hi, Brittany. Really nice presentation. I think really well done, especially your research. I have a couple of questions. If you can highlight, so you highlighted the value for your user, which is they have certain food allergies, which is actually great. I want to understand how will your product, what value will it bring, one, to the restaurants, because it almost seems like there are two, it's a platform that's connecting the restaurants and the users. So help me understand how do these and your platform, so how are you going to generate value? So, and the second question that I have is, how do you see yourself placed against the competitors, especially larger competitors like Uber Eats, DoorDash, which do allow users to enter any allergic preferences when they are ordering? So those are my two questions.
Great question. So kind of giving you an idea of the competitive analysis end of things. Whenever I was conducting that research, the one platform that I did see in the application out there was actually a gluten-free based application out there. So this application is catered to more so of allergies as a whole rather than just that one restriction. And then to give the feedback in regards to making that connection between the restaurant space and then also for who our consumers and our customers will be for the user space. The idea is to generate a database, of course, of these restaurants and continuously add to them and essentially give them that idea where they're able to eventually, go out there and say, hey, we are known for not having these allergic reactions within our restaurant. Timer's distracted me, sorry. We're known for not having these allergic reactions within our restaurant space. So therefore, we're going to be able to, help you as you come into our restaurant and be able to help you not have this allergic reaction that will benefit your health.
Okay, well, great. And I know that we only have 6 seconds. I think as next steps, and maybe you already have it in your spec document, just give it a little bit more thought around what are some of the feature sets that you would be thinking of, how are you going to build this? And I would definitely think about what are the real value drivers for the restaurants in this, and how are they going to compete?
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I will remove your spotlights and I will spotlight our next presenter, Alicia. You can go ahead and screen share when you're ready.
Hi, everyone. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So one moment. Okay. 1 second. All right, can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and start that timer. Awesome. So hi, I'm Alicia Castro. I am a SPRINT19 product manager, and I'm actually here to remind you of something a little bit different from what you'll probably hear today. There really is no one quite like you offline and on. And if you do any sort of content creation or monetization online in this day of entrepreneurship and influencing and side hustling, you actually need to really make sure that the words inside of your content reflect that uniqueness. So one thing that I realized in my research is that a lot of online content creators and entrepreneurs are getting hit with intellectual property and copyright lawsuits left and right. You've seen this in the news with Chipotle and Sweetgreen, even recently. And that's a real problem, because if you can't create content that is unique enough, you can't market, it's a huge reason why businesses end up failing, right? You can see here, based off of some of the research and the insights from some studies done, businesses are failing because of marketing, and they're failing because their products and their services and the way that they market them are not original. So as an entrepreneur and a copywriter myself who creates content for others, I really wanted to know, how might we create an environment where online entrepreneurs can confidently produce unique written content and copy that doesn't unintentionally infringe on others' intellectual property, so they could stay in business and avoid lawsuits? So I wanted to get a really deep understanding of the problem space. And so I conducted 3 user interviews, including one person that you see here, 50 Google, Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube searches, and some deep dives and comments and threads of 5 Facebook groups focused on entrepreneurs. And I found a common thread. Their main concern was, what if someone else claims that my copy infringes on their intellectual property and I have to spend time and money defending myself? This is really important because with the advent of AI like ChatGPT, that kind of can create a lot of this on-demand content. Sounding like everyone else can literally mean that as a business, you might have to fork over all of your profit to defend your brand. So that's where the solution comes in, which is called Quite Like You. It's an online web-based app that makes it easy for anyone who creates content and copy online to check for uniqueness and originality. So the benefits of Quite Like You, simply put, is it helps entrepreneurs save time and money by giving them a score that allows them to see how unique their content is compared to others in their niche, and it reduces the risk of intellectual property infringement. There are 2 key features that would help entrepreneurs do exactly that. One, an intellectual property checker that would actually crawl the United States Patent and Trademark Office site, give content creators and entrepreneurs a score, as well as a list of really close matches, so they know, am I getting close to infringing on someone's property? And then on the other flip side, a social media checker. So it would crawl all of social media, all of the apps, and again, return a score of how often a phrase or something else that they're trying to ensure is unique is used on social media. So within that, there's a couple of learnings in some of the really deep research that I did, is that it could potentially be a complicated situation because it will require so much crawling and so much connection to other apps. So part of the product ideation process should really include engineering as a major stakeholder so that we can determine the difficulty and feasibility of product development. And there's some additional in-depth market research to understand how some of the other tools that are available have part of these features. So that's something that I will want to continue to dig in as I think about Quite Like You in the next phases of my product management journey. And that is what I have for you today.
Great, thank you so much. I dropped a thing in the chat about how it reminds me of tools for academic honesty in colleges as well too. Such a unique problem space. I'll open up to any questions from our mentors now, and I'll spotlight our mentor as well. See if any of our mentors have questions. Oh, there we go. You can go ahead.
Oh, my spotlight. I didn't necessarily raise my hand, but I don't know if I have a specific question. I thought you did a great job. I kind of wrote down some of the things that I like. I really liked your focus in on the problem space and how you quantified the impact and kind of found out who your market would be. And so it sounds like, just to get more clear on like your persona that you're going after, is it small businesses? Is it specifically like creators? Like who exactly
Yeah.
is the person that you're focused on?
Yeah, so there would be 3 target personas, right? All within the small business realm of things. So this is certainly a tool that if you have a larger business you can use, but they would likely already have other resources like lawyers that potentially could check for some of these things for them. So it would definitely be small business owners. Within that umbrella, you have folks who identify as entrepreneurs or small business owners, and they're using that language, or content creators, right? They actually end up creating the same sort of asset that gets put on as a marketing material. They just kind of talk about it a little bit differently. So those would be the 2 target personas.
Is there any particular industry where this is a bigger problem?
I notice it particularly based on my research. It is very prevalent in like e-commerce, specifically within the online coaching space. So you'll see that a lot with people who do like one-on-one coaching, for example, or even like group coaching. A lot that has really popped up over the last 2 or 3 years, especially with people doing a lot of side hustling. So these are people who are usually doing some sort of like marketing or life coaching or that sort of thing. But it's very prevalent specifically within the like online entrepreneurship space in social media, usually service-based providers.
That's great.
Thank you, everyone.
So much. Thank you, Alicia and Jenny. I will remove your spotlights. And up next, we have Brianna. I will spotlight you.
Hello. Can everyone hear me well? Yes. Okay. Just wanted to double check that. And can everyone see my screen? Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, hello everyone. I am the product manager, Brianna, and I would like to introduce to you the new Friends Feed feature on Yelp. Let's start with our user persona. Meet Susan. Susan loves catching up with friends through food, so she goes out to restaurants about 12 times a month. Even with reviews and ratings, it takes Susan usually up to 30 minutes each time to decide where to eat. So that is approximately 6 hours that she is spending solely on deciding which restaurants to eat at each month. There was a study done in California that had 2 tables, one with 24 types of jam and the other with 6 types. The study concluded that there were more people who visited the table with more jam, but bought 10 times less than the table with only 6 options. The overwhelming amount of options can cause people to spend a lot more time trying to decide and may not end up selecting anything. Through our own user research, 75% said the conflicting opinion of others or selecting a restaurant for a special occasion adds additional stress to the decision process. While there are ratings and reviews for restaurants to help users decide, do we really hold that much weight to the opinions of strangers that we don't know what their food experience or taste buds are like? The proposed solution is to create a feature on Yelp, allowing it to leverage the reputation that app already has as a reputable food source. This feature will show only restaurants in the area that are reviewed by your friends, family, and favorite food bloggers. The purpose of this feature is to provide more influential reviews and ratings that you can trust. Through utilizing the infrastructure and information Yelp already has, you will have a feed with the usual restaurant details. But now, the ratings and even the recommended dishes will be from your friends instead of strangers. You don't know if you can trust a review posted by a stranger, but you can definitely trust one posted by your friend. You can also follow your favorite food bloggers, so instead of wasting time searching for that one dish they recommended 6 months ago, you can find it here listed easily on Yelp. The benefits of this feature is that it allows you to free up that wasted time to do more valuable activities. You get to experience your friends' favorite restaurants because you loved their recommendations before, and discover new restaurants that could have been lost in all of those previous options. On this Co.Lab journey, I learned a few things. One being, you may want to jump straight into that product that you really want to create, but taking time to understand the problem space and the user's pain points is what will truly make a great product. Second, Through conducting user interviews, I've learned that the problem you think your users are having is not always actually the problem they're having. And finally, I now understand the concept of having one feature done very well is better than having 20 features that doesn't end up solving the core problem at all. Thank you for your time to listen to my pitch. Sorry.
Great job. Your slides were beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, we'll open it up for any questions from our mentors as well.
Hi, Brenna.
Hi.
A really good concept. Just yesterday evening, I was actually looking for something. It did take me about a long time to decide what I want to eat.
A problem that we all have.
Yes, we do. Absolutely do. And I went, I think, all the way from do I want to have a pizza or a sushi or a this or a that, whatever. And by the time I decided, I'd lost a lot of time. So really good concept. I would just ask one question. What is or I would rather, it's less of a question, but something that I would rather say that you think about as you build your product, because it's a really good product, is what are the risks that you see? As an example, there's a cold start problem. So one of the risks is whenever you're thinking about connecting friends and getting reviews or feedback from them, one, how are you going to get the same friends on the same platform? How are you going to navigate that space? As well as what if somebody doesn't have, like on social media, you have few very close friends, but then, you have a lot of friends that are there. So how do you solve for that challenge, or at least think about that risk and dependency when you're building the product? And I guess other than that, I really don't have any other feedback. Good work.
Thank you. Yeah, I did put some of that into consideration. That's why I actually chose to use my 4 weeks to do something off of Yelp, a feature, instead of my own product, because I, after user conducting interviews, I realized that 100% of them use tools, and a lot of them did list out Yelp as one of the tools they use. So I was relying on their reputation. And that's also why I added the feature of being able to search for perhaps a name that you could follow. So maybe some people don't have a lot of friends that would recommend, but they can also follow food bloggers as well. So that would give you a little bit more options for the people that are lacking it.
Yeah, great. Well, I wish you all the very best when you bring, I hope you're doing the 8 weeks where you're actually building your product. So I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Great. All right. Thank you so much again. I will unspotlight you and we'll have our next presenter, Arvik.
Hi, everybody. Let me share quickly. Can everybody see the screen? Okay, sure. So yeah, hi everybody. My name is Adideep, and today I'd like to present to you a new social media platform, Aletheia, aims to stop users from believing on an ongoing disinformation and building their mentality on it that is present on today's social media and public news platforms. Social media is everywhere and changes the way we think, what we learn, and what we're exposed to. Because of this, generations of many millennials and especially Zoomers are shaping their mentality based on the ongoing disinformation present on today's media and public news platforms. While conducting market research, I found that 86% of online global citizens have been exposed to fake news, making 40% of these people reduce their trust in media and 22% in the government. And my personal research has only proved those numbers. All participants have lost their belief in news being unbiased and reliable in today's century. And in fact, instead of searching for reliable news, they either view TikTok or YouTube videos or just visit top articles on Safari or Google. You can think of this ideology as the more views, visits, the more reliable. With that in mind, I want you to meet Sophie. Sophie is a representative of Gen Z. She was born in the world of social media and technology, but just like her peers, she feels misled and uneducated on what's actually happening in her own and other countries. She wants to shape her opinion based on trustworthy information quickly and efficiently. I also want you to meet Luna and Marcel, representatives of Gen Z and X. They are activists living in the world of biased news and disinformation, and they want to share trustworthy information with others to stop disinformation from affecting current and future generations. So how do we create a space full of integrity and first-hand information for public to network through news? I present to you Alethea, a social media and networking platform aimed to give individuals access to both viewing and sharing first-hand and reliable information. This interactive media platform will allow users from all over the world to post short, strictly news-specific clips, as well as attach a short descriptive paragraph to it prior to posting. By restricting users' ability to make posts only about the current location and country that they're in, and integrating propaganda detecting tools, Alethea will help its users to prevent being exposed to disinformation and shape their mentality based on trustworthy information. The integrated tools and the community rules will make Alethea unique and help its individuals to shape their mentality on trustworthy information. A little bit about the design. You get an option to discover the mileage by clicking near me or setting your own mileage. You then get an option to click on the icon and see the short descriptive paragraph posted by the user themselves. You also get an option to explore and view the most popular videos of the week, as well as view the top publishers and maybe be posted there yourself. You also get an option to specify your search by picking a category, as well as viewing the map to zoom in or search for a specific location and view the videos within that area. During my time with Co.Lab, I understood how a successful product manager is a customer-obsessed product manager, and how focusing on creating a qualitative MVPs is the mindset needed for success. It's better to have a strong base and only then build the wall brick by brick. And if you wonder, Alethea means truth or disclosure in ancient Greek philosophy. So I hope with the launch of this product, you will be able to show you the truth. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It was really great to see all the design process as well, too. We'll open it up to questions. I see Jenny, so I'll add her spotlight.
Thank you. That was great. Thanks for the presentation. I guess most of my questions are around, so you mentioned, kind of today, like more views equals more trustworthiness. I know you had like a bunch of bullets on some of your slides, but I didn't totally get the chance to kind of absorb it. So my question is around, aside from just number of views or popularity really of a post, how are you going to vet for trustworthiness, right? Like how do you, what are the indicators that something is true or false?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I've noticed a lot while doing the research that there is a lot of disinformation happening from the person posting about a certain topic while not being in that location. Let's say you're a post about something that's happening here in where I'm located in Seattle, and then you're not quite sure if that's true because it's not posted from the first-hand source. So that's a big thing that audience relies on today, is whether it's posted by a first-hand source or somebody out there, and making sure that the app does not let its users to post from any other location will kind of help to cover that point. And some other things that are integrated within the rules of the system is that only users above the age of 16 will be able to make posts and actually post news, while others will be able to simply view. And this is also based on research because people tend to be more mature and kind of understand what they're really posting and saying above the age of 16. Yeah, I think that those are the two main big things that I'm relying my search on. Especially the propaganda detecting tools that will be integrated to kind of avoid that disinformation, which can be used through the AI tools that are present in today's century.
Last question really quick is, have you thought about monetization at all? Because I know a lot of these apps, right, it's ads. And so does that go against your, vision? Oh, sorry, we're out of time.
Not at the moment. So I was thinking advertising tools that kind of avoid that disinformation from the user's feed would be something helpful and kind of help the small businesses and maybe bigger businesses to promote their tools within that, as the main goal of the app would be to kind of prevent generations from shaping their mentality on that disinformation happening in today's century.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jenny, for the great questions. I'll remove your spotlights. Thank you, Arvik. Great job presenting. Next, we have Liz. I'll add your spotlight. Go ahead.
Thank you. All right. Okay, you should be able to see my screen now and let me know if you can hear me well. All right, awesome. So hi everyone, my name is Liz. I'm the product manager for SPRINT19 with Co.Lab, and today I'll be presenting FieldMap, which is here to help you create a roadmap for your learning experiences online with the articles that you already love and enjoy every day. So we can get started. We're going to go over the problem space. So what are we solving? Then the problem background, the proposed solution, and learnings. So the problem space or the problem with learning online is that in my personal experience, and I've seen this with friends as well, and then we can see how that was confirmed with some surveys and interviews. Whenever we are learning online, either from articles that we find on Google or posts that experts post on LinkedIn or Quora, we find these very helpful, and they're full of amazing and amazing and informational tips and guides and so on and so forth. But these aren't always very clear, very clearly placed into a learning roadmap, right? We read an article here about a topic that maybe we're not there yet, but we know that it's going to be important, or an article here that, you know, we're close to getting there, but we don't know when to read it, or we don't know where it falls into a learning roadmap. So especially for professionals entering a new field or professionals pivoting, like many of us are in 2PM, a lot of times this learning roadmap, what you need to learn first, is not very clear, right? And so sometimes finding a learning path online often looks like this, but with FieldMap, we're trying to make that look a little bit more like this, right? You're going to have your ups and downs, but it's a little bit more stable. So we have here two people that we interviewed. So we have, let's say, Barbara, who tries to save articles under a certain skill, but doesn't know if she's missing something in between the skills she's saving articles for. And then there's Sebastian, who feels that it's important to make sense of what to read first, but doesn't have a defined method to do so, right? And on surveys, we also saw that this was, that this theme continued. And I think the most important part here is that 70% of participants in the surveys agreed that it is very important for you to have a learning roadmap and a learning path. And along with that, it's hard for them to have a clear path in mind. It's difficult to choose which order to read in, and 50% of them are unlikely to go back and read, right? They're saving it in bookmarks, and who knows when you're going to go back to that list. So here's what FieldMap comes in. So FieldMap collects articles that you've saved to the platform and automatically places them into a predefined learning roadmap for your field. You can read articles and posts from experts that you love, but in an order that makes sense for you. So you can choose a professional field, share the article to FieldMap. It'll fit into a specific skill and within that field in the profession. And then you can also take notes and highlight in the app. This is a quick mock. I'm not a UX designer, but this is so you can have an idea of what this could look like, right? You share the article, you have the article you're reading, the articles in your current focus skills, and then articles that you've shared and were automatically placed within different skills in FieldMap. And that's pretty much it. I want to really thank Co.Lab for the experience, and say I think all of us learned a lot about focusing on the problem and not jumping to the solution. And also really listening to users. And on top of that, I want to thank the people that were in my group. We were really supportive, and it was great to see how much group help can really give you a hand in all this process. That's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Definitely, I am part of your problem space. I have a graveyard of bookmarks that I never go back to. Let's open it up to questions from our mentors.
Okay. Liz, first of all, really nice presentation. And I also want to say that you really did a very good job of writing your product spec document in Notion, which was
thank you.
And very well done. So thank you for laying it out that way. I think I think it is definitely a problem that it's a real problem where we all have articles from all the different sources. I guess one question that I wanted to ask for is more of a clarification. Is your product, are you saying that the product based on what articles a user is saving across these different platforms? One, how is the product going to aggregate that? And then second question that I have is the article going to create the learning path itself, or is it more manual first, and then maybe you're thinking about phase 2 is a little bit more defined?
Yeah. So for question 1, the idea is not for us to fetch what they already have saved in other platforms, rather for them to send that or share that with us. So it's as if like a web clipper would work, right? You share that link with us and we're able to scrape that information. So the user has to actively choose what they want to share to save into field map, right? And then the second question in terms of the articles fitting into the roadmap. So the idea is to have, I mean, it might come with a little bit of manual work to begin with, but to start with maybe 10 professional fields that we want to focus on and establish with research, establish which are the maybe main topics or skills that should be included in the roadmap, right? And when the user shares that that article to us, that article, depending on the topic that it's covering, it'll fit into one of these skills, right? So say, for example, that we're talking about product requirement documents, right? And I save an article that has the word product requirement documents and it's talking about product requirement documents, the app and the platform will automatically place that within that skill. Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does.
Okay, perfect.
I think great work. Once you build it, the only thing that I would say is when you're building your product, do think about 3 aspects: usability, viability, and think from that perspective of what are the friction points for a user and how you're going to solve for those pain points. Yes, you're solving a problem, but also think about, you know, what's that journey going to be and where all you're going to come across those friction points. So great work, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you again for your presentation. I will unspotlight you and call on the next person. And I just want to quickly say, if anybody has questions from our group, feel free to drop them in the chat because the presenters can answer those questions there. Dara, you will be up next. I will spotlight you once you have your video on. I'm going to send you, oh, there we go. Go ahead.
Can everyone see my screen share? Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm having a little bit of lagging here. Hi everyone, my name is Dara. I'm a product manager at Co.Lab, and today I'm going to be talking to you about an application that can help you reach your fitness goals. Okay, so have you ever put a lot of effort when you're working out and you still did not see your result? Or have you ever heard of a family member or your friend say that they are training for a summer body, which is a terminology used to describe a large lack of motivation during the year up until summertime? If your answer is yes, then you are not alone. Based on my research and customer surveys, I found 2 main issues within the fitness space. The first was a large lack of knowledge on how to perform workout routines correctly, especially at the beginner and the intermediate levels. The second issue I found was generally around low motivation levels, and this impacted people's abilities to reach their goals. According to my customer survey, 54% of people abandon their workout goals due to lack of discipline and motivation. And this is exactly what my application aims to resolve. Okay. All right, so let's meet Rhea. Rhea is a target customer. She wants some guidance when she's completing her workout routines. She wants specific workout routines based on her needs, such as her goals, her health, her schedule, as well as her fitness level. And she also wants to be able to track her workout progress to see how she's improving over time. So let's see how FitPal can help Rhea solve these issues. So based on my target customers' needs, like Ria, I've identified 3 features that would need to be developed. The first is a personal AI coach. This solution uses AI to give real-time feedback as the user is completing their workout. The second feature is a workout and feedback log. This is a solution that helps users track their workout progress and helps them identify common errors as well as the things that they are doing correctly. And then the third is a personalized workout plan. This solution helps users incorporate their needs and preferences to allow them to reach their desired goals. So let's see some of my key learnings and takeaways over the last 1 month. So I learned to focus on the problem space and not the solution during the problem discovery. I also learned to conduct user research without having a solution in mind so that you're not biased. And then I learned to prioritize solutions based on my goals, time, and resources. So with that, I want to say thank you for listening to my presentation, and I open it up for any questions.
Wonderful. Great job. I'll highlight Jenny, the mentor.
Thank you, Dara. This is great. I feel like I could definitely use it. I'm actually reading the book Atomic Habits right now, and this is very relevant for like how to build small habits, with feedback and achievable goals. So yeah, my question is, I guess I'm curious about the competitive space, right? Like the workout space is so big. I mean, even individual, trainers have their own apps and their own programs. And so, I love the idea of like the AI coach is going to give you real-time feedback and how you're, how you're doing. But like who are the biggest competitors that you're working against, and what specifically separates you from them?
I think it's ultimately going to be a lot of effort in that AI feature that I developed. I think that would be like the competitive advantage. It's definitely going to be a challenge to get people on the application at first, but I believe that, with a strong product that we would ultimately get there. And also I thought about monetization, and part of it was the first month the user is going to get the product free. I remember when I started using Spotify, for example, I was so in love with like Apple Music and no one could convince me, but the 3 free months that I had really gave me time to like understand the product better and feel like this is actually a better product for me. So that's the angle that I'm gonna kind of go with. And then ultimately, in terms of, there's so many applications out there, we want to make FitPal like a community ultimately. So it's not just for education, but also involving your family and friends. And so that's kind of the direction that I see going forward.
That's great. Another piece of, building a great habit is, involving others, that accountability aspect. So wonderful. Thank you, Dara, and thank you, Jenny. I will unspotlight you, and we will have Jennifer up next.
All right, is everybody able to see my screen? Sure. All right, my name is Jennifer. I'm part of the SPRINT19 cohort, and I created Elpis. Elpis is a mobile app designed to target people feeling overwhelmed and disorganized from dealing with their ADHD. It's designed to have a simple user interface to help users struggling to remind them of various tasks and goals, along with assisting them with the ability to eliminate mobile distractions. It helps to ensure that users can achieve their tasks and goals in a more timely manner. All right, so people dealing with ADHD and other attention-related symptoms need faster and less frustrating ways to accomplish their goals because they are struggling to get various tasks done in a timely manner. I wanted to figure out how to provide a solution to this. This is a little bit about the problem background. ADHD has become an increasing problem with the rise of social media, streaming platforms, and various smartphone apps. And it's created a lot of overstimulation in people. According to the Centers for Disease Control, the estimated number of children with ADHD in the United States has increased by 42%, and it's similar numbers among adults as well. So for the product experience, I conducted 15 surveys and 2 user interviews and did a lot of research. There were a lot of ADHD apps out there already, so I had to figure out a way to make this better, to take features that people wanted, and this included really focusing on the problem space and really getting to know these users and figuring out what they wanted. A lot of them said that the interfaces on ADHD apps that are currently out are too complex and have too many distractions and too many features. So with that being said, we knew we wanted to create a very simple user interface and have only 3 key features within the app. The 3 key features are to remind users of various tasks and goals at set times, to eliminate mobile distractions by locking features on the phone and turning the screen into a visual timer, and to keep track of the time and days the users has put in to work towards larger goals. And then this is part of the ongoing research. I needed to figure out a way to measure positive results created by the app. I wanted to see if people wanted a way to turn the timer off or on, or if they just wanted to have it be stuck that way until the time runs out. And then I also wanted to create maybe a desktop version where it coincides with the mobile app and filters out certain websites so that you can't use them while you're using the app. This is a mock-up of the app. As you can see, the interface is very simple. It has a timer with a function to allow emergency calls, and that will be the only thing you can use while the timer is going. And then it has your task list and a little bar to show how much progress you've put towards some of those tasks and goals. And then for me, the key learnings were problem solving. I think this goes beyond a career. I can use it anywhere in my life. So I really appreciate that aspect of learning how to approach things from a different stance, learning really about the users, getting to know them very well, trying to figure out and empathize with them to figure out better ways to solve their problems, and then building in public. This one was a little difficult for me. This was the first time I've ever had a LinkedIn, so this is all new to me. But it is key to gaining trust from your users and provides you with the ability to gain an audience before you launch the product.
Awesome. Wonderful job. We'll open it up for questions, but I just want to quickly say congratulations and thank you for pushing yourself out of your comfort zone to build in public. I know it can be challenging, but I'm glad that you were able to see, so much of the benefit, and I hope that only grows in the future for you. All right, we'll open it up to questions from our mentors. Perfect.
Hey, Jennifer. First and foremost, I love the product idea. I think for anyone with ADHD, I would also love to use it. I think in general, with so much going on and so many screens around, it is very, very hard to focus and have that dedicated time. So love the idea. I love the simplicity of very clearly defining what features you're going after and what are the things that you're clearly researching on. I think I really don't have many questions. I would encourage you to continue your research, and I do hope that you build it. And I just want to say great work and best of luck. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right, we'll move on to our last presenter. Again, thank you so much for your presentation, Jennifer. Great job. I'll unspotlight you both. And our last presenter, Chastity. Oh, Jennifer, if you could stop sharing just so that.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I never know if it will work if the next person starts. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So.
Oh, I see.
Oh, perfect. Go ahead, Chastity.
Okay. Oh, oops. Exit on that. All right. Can everybody see my screen? Okay, great. Hi, everybody. I'm Chastity, and I'm a product manager with the SPRINT19 cohort. Over the past 4 weeks, I have been working on the early development stages of a mobile app that supports breastfeeding called LactoLink. So let's get into our problem space. All right, so if you've ever breastfed, if you're a breastfeeding mom currently, or you know someone that has breastfed, you may have witnessed them have a lot of challenges, maybe or maybe not. Breastfeeding can be very challenging. It can cause physical, mental, and emotional strain. And oftentimes you may see that women that breastfeed only do so for a short period of time. It may not be long-term, and it's most likely because of the lack of access to the proper care and the guidance that they need on breastfeeding. All right, so according to the CDC, 60% of mothers do not breastfeed for as long as they intend due to various reasons. However, it's cited that low milk production, or when you hear women say they don't make enough milk, as being the most common reason that most women stop breastfeeding early. And when I say early, we are talking about at least shorter than 6 months. Through my own research, I did a combination of surveys and user interviews. I interviewed 10 people and asked them a set of 13 questions. So here we found that 90% of the respondents stated that they had been told by their child's pediatrician that they didn't produce enough milk. 100% did not know that they could seek help from a lactation specialist after leaving the hospital after giving birth to their baby. And another bullet that's not up here, only 20% of those respondents successfully and exclusively breastfed for at least 6 months of their child's life. So we'll get into our users. Meet Chelsea. So Chelsea is a new mom. This is her first child. She's done very little research on breastfeeding. Her providers have not offered her any information on breastfeeding. She thinks it won't be hard and that she'll, it'll be a walk in the park. She won't have any issues breastfeeding. Her birthing team actually inquires during labor if she will be bottle feeding or breastfeeding. She lets them know she wants to breastfeed. They offer her the help of a lactation specialist during the hospital stay. While she's there, Chelsea and her baby do fine, and they leave. Afterwards, she experiences a lot of difficulties. She experiences difficulties in latching. She's not eating enough and eating a poor diet. She's also going through baby blues or postpartum depression, something that occurs a lot of times when mothers have a new baby. She takes her baby to a checkup. The doctor indicates that the baby has lost weight. The doctor assumes it's because she's not producing enough milk. And so Chelsea then loses confidence and she actually stops breastfeeding and resorts to formula. Research also suggests that mothers with less confidence are more likely to stop breastfeeding due to these assumptions that they have low milk production. So my proposed solution is LactoLink. It's a mobile app that can connect new or experienced mothers to lactation consultants or other healthcare professionals. So LactoLink will focus on the mother's overall health and all aspects that will help her to successfully breastfeed. So the goals of LactoLink are to make breastfeeding more accessible, helping the mom to develop a healthy breastfeeding relationship with their child or children. It's a holistic approach in that we will offer resources to not only lactation consultants, but also therapists, doulas that can help with the baby if they don't have a lot of family support, and also nutritionists. And also our goal is to increase the awareness of the benefits of breastfeeding as well. So again, our product features, we will offer access to a number of providers. The user will be able to go in the app and they'll be able to review a listing for a provider. They'll be able to see if that provider will accept their insurance plan, if they can do self-payment options, which are not covered by insurance, or if a provider offers free services based on a user's income. They'll also be able to engage with other mothers through a community platform so that they can lean on each other for support. And they'll also be able to share feeding plans with their family. So that way we'll encourage family support as well. If the mother needs a break or if she's returning to work, those family members and the mother can keep up with how much the baby has eaten throughout the day. And as far as my learnings, so far I learned to focus on the problem before you focus on the solution, how to conduct user research, inform user stories, and ensure that your product features make sense based on your problem statement. I think before I think I had a hard time at first because I kept thinking what can be solved, and not actually thinking about a problem as Co.Lab instructed us to think about a problem in your personal life. And this was one of my problems. Thank you, everybody.
Great job. Thank you so much for your presentation. I'm not a mother myself, but from every mother I've heard, it is a tough journey, especially the breastfeeding part. So I can definitely see the usage for a tool like this. Amazing. We are almost at time, so we're gonna unfortunately cut the question portion, but if anybody has any questions for Chastity, please drop them in the chat so that you can answer them there. And I'll just do a really quick wrap up. I will unspotlight everybody. There we go. All right. So really quick wrap up. Again, I want to thank everybody for attending today, taking the time out of your day to be here to celebrate, the end of Sprint 19. Amazing to see everyone's progress so far. We were only able to choose a few presenters today. So there are, tons more that will have their product portfolios uploaded on our website with recorded pitch presentations. So definitely go check those out as well. Really, really amazing to see all of your hard work. I know it wasn't always easy and some of the deadlines were tough to turn around, and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone with building in public and learning new things as well. But yeah, it's been amazing working with all of you. We can only look forward to seeing where you'll go next. And I really look forward to having some of you, if not all of you, joining us in a Co.Lab bootcamp in the near future as well. Have a great rest of your Fridays, everybody. And for anyone who's interested in joining a Sprint cohort, I know Francis dropped a link in the chat about an info session that we have coming up. We run those fairly frequently. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to send us an email as well. But congratulations to everybody from Sprint 19. Looking forward to seeing where you go next. Take care. Bye.